नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम अस्मत् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुश्रोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणास्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति. So in the last session we were on to the fourth section of the sixth chapter, where it continued how the sat sadeva saumya idamagra asid ekameva advitiyam brahma, that ekam and advitiyam, one and non-dual sat existence, tadaikshata, it conceived or it imagined or it projected or it willed. Different words are used in different Upanishads, but the basic thing is that it is only a projection. That Sat projected as the Tejas. Tejas here means light, or we can take it as a energy or knowledge. Then that subsequently projected the Apaha, means the subtle, flexible, lucid aspect of the what material. Apat Anna. So therefore Anna is the third one. So these three put together becomes Trivyadam. And the process of Trivitkaranam is what it is, the subsequent multiplication and quantiplication, or you can say how the rest of the names and forms are being formed. So how the sun, the moon, the lightning, etc. are not different from that Sat, which has now become or appearing to have become sun, moon and lightning. The sunness, the moonness and the lightningness, when is not seen separate, they all have the same existence and awareness or consciousness, not the consciousness the way we think about our consciousness of the intellect. It is the presence or beingness, we can say. The beingness itself is making itself aware as an existence which is aware, having the potency of awareness in it, because of which it can be known. So with this as in mind, the Upanishad further treads into the last mile, which is the components of the human body. In the subsequent today, we will be dealing with that only. We are not still getting into the philosophy part today. The philosophy part will come from the 8th section onwards. So we are in the 4th section. So there is not much of a philosophy to be described, except that how the Upanishads want us to remember at every stage that the origin should not be forgotten when the subsequent name and form is coming out of the another one. Even though the same gold, let us assuming it was a billet shape or a huge rock shape, when it was removed, brought into biscuits or bars, then also we don't see the ornaments in it. Then subsequently it goes through the process of forming into different ornaments, And there then we have the different ornaments like necklace, bangles, earrings, etc., or even for the industrial purpose. So that doesn't mean that the gold which was mined and purified from the mines have undergone through a change into becoming something else. Even when it is the appearance is that of the bangle or the necklace, it is the same gold only. Gold has not undergone any change. Same way, that Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma, that Satchitananda Brahma, has not undergone any transformation or any modification in its originality when it started appearing as the Tejas, Apa, and Annam. That is the fire, the glow, the light, the liquid, and the gross matter. So, when we are seeing this grossness or the multiplication in the world, we should see that there is a intrinsic object which, without the name and form, has a reality. That reality is the truth of that object. The name and the form are transactional requirement. Therefore, they are added on to that. Like the pot has got a transactional value, but the pot is nothing but mud. Same way. So now the Upanishad is continuing that, saying that in the fifth mantra of the fourth section of sixth chapter, Edatha sma vai tat vidvamsaha ahu purvave mahashala mahasrotriyana adhya kaschana ashrutam avitam amatam avijnatam udaharishyati iti hyabhyo vidam chakru. Tat etat. In this manner, whatever has been mentioned as the Trivitkarana or the triplication, Vidwamsaha, those who have known about it, Purve, in the past, who were Mahashala. Mahashala is the one who had huge assemblage hall where he used to teach to a large section of the students and where he used to conduct the yagas and yatyas. But not only they are just teachers and the yaga yajna thing, they are also mahasrotriyaha. They were experts in the shastra. They knew what it is meant by the shastra, not only the Upanishad aspect, but the entire Veda and the Upavedas. All of them are known to them. So they are the Mahashala, Mahasrotriya. Te ahuhu smai hava adyana kaschit. They have proclaimed or announced that in our Naha means in our lineage, kaschit asrudam amadam avijnatam. Not even one person will be there who will not be not having heard about the truth, not having done the mananam on the truth, and one who has become knowledgeable in the truth. So asrudam amadam avijnatam na udahirishyati is not being taken as, not even one person is there to be taken as an example who has not done these three things. He ebhya vidam chakruhidi. Because one who knows the triplication from the forms, not only the Teja, Apa and Vayu, but also the respective colors through which they can be identified, like the red color for the light, the white color for the water, and the black color for the grass. They know how to see the one reality, even though they see the colors in different objects or the appearances in different objects. This is how they have become very well known as Shrotriya, Brahmanishta, because there is no way they could have not known, not even one among our lineage is available who can be exemplified or taken out as one who has not done that. So, my dear son, this is what I am going to teach you. This is exactly what Uddalaka is telling Shvetaketu, because when he asked that beginning of the Upanishad, they said, have you learned this from your teachers? Knowing which, which is that unheard becomes heard, the unthinkable becomes thinkable, and unknown becomes known. So that is where now it has been explained in the Upanishad that this is up to that level, knowing which there will be nothing amadam, ashrudam, abhijnata. So the sixth and seventh mantra together is Yadarohitam iva bhuti tejas tadrupam iti vidvam chakruhu. Yad शुक्लमिवा भूत इत्यपाम रूपः इति तद्विदाम चक्रुः यद कृष्णमिवा भूत अत्यन्नस्य रूपमिति विदां चक्रुः यद्वा विज्ञातम् यद्वा विज्ञात यद्वा विज्ञातम् इव अभूत् तत् एतासाम् एव देवानां समासः इति तद्विदां चक्रुः यदा तु खलो सौम्या इमा तिस्रो देवता पुरुषं प्राप्य त्रिवित्रिवृत् एकैका भवति तन्मे विजानीहि. So what does that say? He says that yat means whichever form rohitam iva bhut appears to be like the red, tad tejasa rupamiti. That is the presence of the teja in that particular object, whichever may be the object. If there is a redness in it, understand that there is a power portion of it which is come out of the tejas, which is the first creation. That vidam chakruhu. Then they identified what is the root from where this creation has happened. Same way, shuklamiva bhut tat apam rupam vidi vidam chakruhu. Whatever is seen to be the whiteness in anything, it is because of the presence of the apa. Apa means the watery aspect, devata in it. Yat u krishnam iva abhut iti tat annasya rupam iti vidam chakruhu. The darkness or the black in any object is the presence of anna in that, is how they differentiated and understood that ultimately everything is a combination of only these three. Avijñātam iva abhut iti. As if once it is mixed and become an entity, that it is not possible for a naked eye or an ordinary with our sense organs to segregate these aspects in them. Therefore, avijñātam iva, like we cannot segregate them, and the creation is there without segregation possible. So it will appear that it is come out of something else. Tat etasam devatanam eva samasaha iti. But they knew that this is a combination, or samasa means the mixing up of these three devatas, Teja, Apa and Annam, is how they knew about it. Saumya yatha khalu imam tisra devata purusham prapya. Hey, my dear son, hello Saumya. In whichever way these three devatas, after having become the human being, now he is bringing that from that three stages, three aspects of the devatas. The Upanishad brought the examples of sun, moon, lightning, etc., etc. then the colors were differentiated, and now he's saying that how did these three become embedded in the human being is being now to be understood. Purusham prapya ekaika trivir bhavati. These three, having entered into human being or having become the human being, the triplication process has resulted, and that is why we can tell you how they are present in the human body. Tad me vijanihi. That thing what you want, what you should do is to be understood from me. I'm going to teach you. This is how the Uddalaka is telling, which how the tradition is being maintained by the lineage, so that not a one person in the lineage goes without knowing the reality of the tat. Then in the next this thing, fifth section, अन्नमशितं त्रेधा विधीयते तस्य यः स्तविष्टो धातुस्तत् पुरीशं भवति यो मध्यमः तत् मांसं यो animas tat manah. Now he is saying that asitam annam, whatever food that has been consumed, treda vidiyate, that is being segregated or divided into three aspects. The stavishta dhatu, tasya tavishta dhatu, the grossest and the wasteful aspects of it, or which cannot be absorbed into the body, that is the stavishta dhatu. Tad etaha yaha tad purisham bhavati, that becomes the fecus and is being discharged. Yaha madhyamaha tad mamsam bhavati. The middle portion of the assimilated food is what becomes the flesh of the human body. Ya aniyaha tad manaha. The subtle aspect, the subtle of the food which we are consuming is what becomes the mind. So annam has become not only the mind, it also has become the body because of the flesh. Now this is only about what is being told about the annam. Now we have to have the same thing applied for water and the fire aspects. So here it is only the anna, that the grossest one of the triplication with the devatas, anna, apaha, tejaha, anna, apaha, anna. So anna has become in this form the fecus, the flesh and the mind. Now comes the second aspect of the apaha, the water aspect. Apaha pitos treda vidiyante tasam yah stavishta dhatuhu tat mutram bhavati yah madhyama tat lohitam yo anima sa pranaha. Now the water or the liquid which we are consuming, whatever form we are, whether it is in the water or in the form of any liquid, pita apaha treda vidiyate. The one which has been drunk, that what has been liquid which has been done, that is being getting into three aspects of it. Stavishta dhatu, that the grossest of from the liquid, whatever is the grossest of it, tad mutram bhavati, that becomes the urine and is being going out. Madhyama hayah tad lohitam. The middle one, which is from the liquid, is what becomes the blood. Aniyaha yaha sa pranaha. The subtlemost aspect of the watery principle is what becomes the prana, or the vital air forces operating in the body. So we have now seen the anna, we have seen the apaha. Now comes the teja. Tejo asitam treda vidiyade tasya yastavishta das dadus tad bhavati yo madhyamaha sa majja yo anishta sa vak. Asitam tejaha. Whatever we are consuming as the tejaha. Now, as per the Bhashyakara, Shankara, he is saying that the word teja he is standing for not only the fire principle or the fire principle preside is included in the whatever is consumable as thing like the clarified butter or the oil, vegetable oil, etc., which is being consumed by us. All of them are taijasam, means having the quality of teja. So, ashitam tejaha means when we consume that, tasya stavishta dhatuhu yaha tat asti bhavati. The grossest aspect of that food which we consume as taijasa food or the fiery principled food, whichever we consume, from that the bones are developed. Madhyamahaya sa majja. Whatever is the middle aspect of that food, it becomes the marrow in the bone, inside the bone. Anishtahyaha sa vak. The subtlest of that becomes the the walk or the speech in the human beings. So the subtle aspects are, one is manaha, one is pranaha, and now the third one is walk. This is how the subtle is there. In the middle portion is in the in the anna it becomes flesh. In the apaha it becomes blood, and in the teja it becomes the marrow. And the grossest one of apaha and annam gets excreted as feces and urine, but that of tejaha, the taijasa, it becomes the bone in the human beings. This is how the three aspects have now become the human being in a functional aspect. Annamayam hi saumya manaha. Now here we have to keep it in mind. The words are repeatedly coming in different forms. Here, Annamayam hi Saumya Manaha. This mind is Annamayam because the mind is born out of the Anna. Apomaya Pranas Tejomayi Vagiti. Bhuya Yavama Bhagavan Vitnyapayatu Titi Tado Saumya Hovacha. Apomaya Pranas Tejomayi Vak. Apomaya Pranaha. The prana or the vital breath which is there functioning in our body is by the devata of apaha. And vak means the expression of speech. Tejomayi is predominantly is presided by the devata called Teja. So the sun, Shvetaketu, is asking, Bhuya eva ma Bhagavan Vitnyapayatu iti. I didn't understand, my dear sir. Can you please explain it to me? So he says, Tada Saumya ite hovaja. So be it, I'll explain to you. Then he because it is very difficult to understand how these things can be applied or mentally absorbed as a way in which the Upanishad wants us to understand. So the Upanishad is giving us examples of how this should be understood. But all this time when we are dealing with it, please understand that we should not forget from where all the things, the story has started. See, this is exactly where what happens is that, even in the Yoga Vasishta, when you read it, the opening statement is where the crux of the most important aspect of the story is there. But subsequently, when the story develops, we forget the story is about an illusory thing which is being described, but the story becomes so enamoring that we forget that it is being discussed about an illusory thing. That is how the Yoga Vasishta methodology of explaining. Same way here, you should understand Ekameva Advitiyam is the one which has become the Tejas, Apa and Annam. Three Devatas or three principles, which we can say. And it is that three principles subsequently is becoming many. So when it is being told, when it was told that it is the say three, when we consume as a human being, which becomes part of us even before creation also. So we should understand it is only after creation we are consuming these three. Even for the creation it is required, because the asti, majja, all those parts of the body is included in it, even though they don't go into the detail. So in the sixth section, the first mantra, Dadnaha Saumya Madhyamanasya Yo Anima Sa Urdhuha Samudishati Tat Sarpish Bhavati. Saumya, hey son, oh my dear son, Madhyamanasya. Madhyamanasya means that which has been churned. Dadnaha means the bottom, the curd. Curd, when it is being churned, anima yaha saha urdhaha samudishyati. Whatever is the subtle aspect floats in it and becomes the butter which is coming up onto the top of it. That sarpish bhavati. That is what is known as the the butter in the churning from the curd. Even though this example is used, the butter is present in the curd even before churning. By churning the curd, only the action has triggered in such a way that the subtle aspects all together come together and become and float itself as a butter inside the curd. So it is present even before, but now it is appears to be separated out. Evameva khalu saumya anyasya shyamanasya yo anima sa urdam samudishadi tat mano bhavati. My dear son, in the same way, asyamanasya, whatever has been consumed, annasya, of the anna principle, animayaha saha, whatever is the subtle aspect of that annam, that urdhum samudishyati, they agglomerate together and come to the top, that manaha bhavati. So that is how the anna, the subtle aspect of the anna becomes the mind. In the process, when we are now, we should understand that these aspects of the mind, which is being explained here, is from the point of view the first explanation where they said the anna has got become the mind, is a subtle part of it. For that example of the butter is that apam saumya piyamananam yo animasa urdhva samushadi sa prana bhavati. Same way, from the water principle, piyamananam means whatever has been consumed as liquid, of the apaha or the liquid principle, the finer aspect, anima, yasa, urdha, samudishyati, they come out of that liquid aspects and become the five vital air principles or prana, sa prana bhavati. Same way, tejasaha, saumya, asyamanasya, yo anima, urdhva samudishyati sa vag bhavati. In the same way, from the tejas principle, that devata, the subtle aspect becomes the speech. Annam hi saumya manaha. Annamayam hi saumya manaha. So this mind is nothing but annamayam, means is completely on the anna aspect or the food consumed on our side. Apomaya pranaha. The vital air is dependent on or is made of watery principle. Tat tejomayi vagiri. The the speech aspect is of the tejo aspect. The Shvetaketu is now again confused. It is nothing but new he has said anything. Father has repeated only the same thing which he has said in the previous section is repeated virtually. So the question has not remained answered. The Shvetaketu is not very clear till now, even now. So he asks, Boya eva ma bhagavan vitnyapayatu iti. Please, I didn't understand what you said. You told me the same thing in the earlier also. Now you are talking only about the subtle aspects which has become the mind, the prana and the vak. But how is it you are saying that these has become the subsequent thing, mind, the prana and vak? How did it become? So, tada saumya iti hovaja. Okay, I'll explain to you. And in the seventh section is where this is being now detailed by the father Aruni Uddalaka. Here he starts with Shodasha Kalaha Saumya Purusha Panjadeshahani Mashi Kama Apaha Piba Apo Maya Prano Na Pibato Vichetsya Iti. Hey Saumya, my dear son, Purushaha, this human, Shodasha Kalaha, is made of 16 parts. Panjadasha Ahani, if you do not eat for 15 days, Panjadasha Ahani Ma Ashi. But Kamam Apa Pibaha, Yateshtam, as much as you wish, you can drink water, but no solid food, nor anything which can kindle the fire like, the butter, oil or anything. It's a pure water you can eat. Apo maya pranaha vichetsyate iti. This watery principle, prana from the body, will detach itself from the rest of the operations. In the functioning is that, not physically detaching. From the operating principle, only that will be maintained. The other aspects of the body, like the mind working, the speech principle, the blood qualities, all blood is apamaya. Okay. The other aspects like the bone and the marrow, etc., will become less operational, and only the prana, which is annamaya prana, that will become more predominant and separated from the rest of the body. And there, if you want to know that, how will you that? So father tells the son, if you want to know that, saha panja dashahani na asha ata hainam upasasada kim bravimi bho iti ruchaha samya ruchumshi sabaniti saho vacha navaima pratibhati bho iti. So the son goes for 15 days of fasting, only taking water. And after the 15 days over, he approaches the father and asks, now what should I do? Bho, kim bravimi. What should I say now? So the father says, Richaha yajumshi samani iti sa. Please chant the mantras which you have studied from the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda and Sama Veda. So the son is on fasting. He has only been drinking water over the last 15 days. So the son says, Sahovacha, Bho, Mana Pratibhadi Vai iti. My dear father, I am not able to do anything. My mind is not working. I am not able to remember the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda. I don't have the strength to talk. I can't even chant. Please, I cannot do anything like that. I'm just only breathing. I'm just living. That's all. Nothing. I don't seems to be having any any power in me to do any of these things. Then the father says, Tam hovacha yada saumya mahato vyahiyatatsya ko angara khadyoda matra parishishta syat tena tatopi na बहुदहेद एवं सौम्य ते षोडशानां कलानां एको कलाति शिष्टा स्यात् तैतैर्हि देव वेदान् नानुभवसि अशमा यथेमे विज्ञास्यति इति. Now this is a long thing. So tam means to Shvetaketu, the father says, Pita Vasa Huvacha, Saumya, my dear son, Yata Mahada Abhyahitasya. In the fire which is there in the from the firewood, how is the fire which is remaining as in the form of the last spark in that fire, when it is about to get extinguished, ekaha ankaraha, one spark which is left there, parishishtaha syad, if it is remaining there or that is there, tena, with that, ataha abhi bahu na dahed. We all know that that spark or that small the spark of the fire which is there, which is about to extinguish, has no potency to burn anything. Saumya evam te shodashanam kalanam eka kala atishishta syat. Same way, in a human being, out of the 16 parts, if one part is there, so taya etarhi tvam vedan na anubhavasi. That is why you are still alive, but you are not able to do anything like that. Like the spark cannot burn anything, you are not able to do anything because there is only one kala remaining in you, which is the prana. So, what are the Shodasha kalas? To know exactly what is the 16 parts, we have to go to Prashnopanishad, and the last sixth question for which Pipalada is answering. He is saying that the Purusha, he created prana, from the prana faith, from the faith he created space, from space air, fire, water, earth, the organs, the mind, the food, from food, virility, austerity, the Vedic hymns, sacrifice, the verse. These are the 16 what has been created as the Shodasha Kala Purusha. The Purusha which has been created by this formation is made up of all these 16. Out of that, what is now left is the prana in you. So, what he says is that, Atha asanaha me vitnyasi iti. You go and have your food, and then, Atha, you will realize as the food is being consumed, you will feel in your body the parts of the body which were not able to function is getting energetic one by one, which is the indication that what this is. See, you should understand that when they are doing, those days none of the instruments or no methodology of inquiry is not possible. It's all by applying to one's own body. They have done these type of assessment. So there are people who are criticizing this is not right, the Vedas are talking bullshit, it is not scientifically correct. Yes, it is not scientifically correct because science was not developed those days. But we should understand their methodology of analysis. Without any instruments or anything, they were able to make out that what is the constituent of the body, which aspect is why each one of the aspect gets triggered and becomes more efficient, based on which they had developed the Ayurveda and other type of medicines also only from this aspect of only. So here the father says, now you have only prana in you. So because you have been taking only water aspect, there is no food aspect nor the fiery principle, the component of the food. You go and have your food, relax, and when you are fit, come back to me. So the son goes for the food and he thinks, Saha asatha hainam upasasada tamha yatkimcha prapacha sarvam ha pratipade. Saha, Setaketu, Asaha, means he had the food. Ataha, Yenam, Upasasada. Then he came to the father when he felt that, he is rejuvenated. Tam, Yat Kimcha, Prapracha, to him, to Shvetaketu, whatever has been asked by the father from the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Tat Sarvam Pratipadehe. He could remember all of them and he could recite them and tell the answers, which shows that when you have when it is only one aspect in the body, the watery aspect, you are only left. That is why they have now concluded that the prana is based out of watery principle. The mind is becoming conditioned by the quality of the food we eat. This is also told in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, has given very clear explanation that the Satvika, Tamasika, Rajasika type of food when you eat, based on which you will become the three type of category of the people. What is predominantly your likes, you will eat, but that will only increase what you are. So if you want to change your character or if you want to build something swatik aspect of it, it is possible in our hand to what type of food we should take that so that our mind is more clear and without any agitation, sattvic nature, not of rajasic and tamasic nature. So that these aspects are told in the Upanishad that food is affecting the mind. So the fifth mantra says, Tamho vacha yada saumya mahado abhihitya mahado abhyahitasya ekam angaram Kadyodamatram parishishtam tam trinairupasamadaya prajwalet tena tato api bahudeha devam somya te shodashanam kalanam eka kala atishishta bhut sa annenopa samahi tva prajwalit tair tahi vedanubhavasi. Tam ho vacha. Tam means to Shvetaketu, Hovacha. Father said, Saumya, my dear son, Yata Mahata Abhyahitasya. Whichever way the fire in that, the firewood, Parishishtam Khadyo Matram Parishishtam. Only a spark when it is remained. Tam Ekam Angaram Trinai Upasadaya. If there is one spark, when you using the trina or the grass, which is dry grass in it, you can burn it up or make it again a big fire. Prajwalayed tena atata api bahudahed. And once it catches fire, you can use it for burn, to fire up anything. Saumya evam te, dear son, like te in you shodasha kalanam eka kala adishishta abud. In your body, the only kala of air was, the prana was the only principle which was remaining in your body. That is why you didn't have the strength to walk, strength to talk, or strength to remember, nothing. Sa anne upasamahita prajwalit taya etairhi vedan anubhavasi. That aspect of the watery principle of the which with the prana was remaining, that became the support for when you started eating food for the rejuvenation of the other remaining 15 kalas, which is with which you are a full Purusha, the six Sodasha Kala Purusha. Now you are able to do all those things what the Veda has been told you to do, chanting onwards, everything. Therefore, Annamayam hi Saumya, Mana Apomaya, Pranas Tejomayi Vagiti, Tadasya Vijaniti. So, Annamayam hi Saumya Manaha. This mind, now you understood that is made up of Anna because you are mentally not able to recollect your Vedas. You are mentally not able to coherently think about it or do anything. So, Saumya, oh my dear son, now do you understand that it is the mind is Annamaya, is predominantly of made of the Anna aspect, Apomaya Prana, because you had the prana still existing, that's why you are alive. So that is because you are only drinking water for the 16 days. Tejomaya Vagiti. You even uttered the one or two few sentences because the remaining aspects of the fire in your body, but you were not able to chant the Vedas or mantras or anything. Tadasya Vijajnaviti. Now this is a repetition of Vijajnaviti. When it is repeated, is to indicate that this way the Trivitkaranam, the triplication aspect of the Teja, Apaha and Annam is the reason why everything in the world is being functional, because they are the one which is now appearing as different names and forms. And even in a human being, the mind, the prana and the speech aspects, all of them are nothing but aspects of that three principle which this Ekameva Dvidiyam Brahma conceived to become the three aspects of it. Like when we conceive to enjoy, project the dream world, we project many things in the dream world. Everything in the dream world is nothing but the projection from the waker's point of view. And that the dreamer carries the memories of some of the waking, and then he mixes up with the projections, and there we experience the dream world. Why I'm saying this is that from the next chapter onwards, it is where the Upanishad is taking us to know how we have to take our thoughts further into knowing the truth. Because in the next this thing section is where the famous statement Tattvamasi Shvetaketo is the first time being uttered. The last verse of the next chapter, next section. So the preamble starts with the Swapna and the dream and the deep sleep. All those things are being talked. So to go there, we should know that the mind is made of the what Anna principle. The walk, the speech is made of fire principle, and the prana, the three principles in the body with which we are human beings and expressing, is based on the three principles which has come from that Tat Ekameva Dvidiyam Brahma. So with this, I conclude today's thing, because the next chapter onwards, the philosophy is starting. So till now, what has been done is how that one, without a second, appears to be the many in the form of Trivitkaranam is what has been explained till now. In the next class, next Wednesday, we will take the eighth eighth section of the Chandogyopanishad, sixth chapter. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Dhanyawada.